Welcome back to the Morning Blend. So you think treatment for addiction and other mental illnesses has to be boring or emotionally painful? Well, our next guest specializes in a unique type of therapy to help those in need.
Javi Mandel is a licensed clinical social worker, Reiki master, and certified spiritual healer with American Addiction Centers. She's here with more on her treatment and the Lifestyle Intervention Conference that's happening later this month at the Bellagio. Hi, Javi.
Hi, so glad to be here.
Great to have you here. So before we get into your special talents as a healer, as an addiction specialist, tell us about this conference that's going on.
Well, Lifestyle Intervention Conference is a wonderful yearly conference that's put on by the American Addiction Centers, and they bring experts and specialists from all over the world that talk about not only what we think of as addictions, the chemical addictions, drug and alcohol, but also process addictions, gambling, sex, technology, eating. And we also have suicide prevention and a variety of mental health issues. So there really is something in the wide spectrum for everyone who's interested in the helping professions and even some who aren't. And it also will have continuing education credits for a number of groups and a great opportunity to network with everybody who's involved in all of these activities.
Absolutely. You mentioned technology. Oh my goodness, that is something that's growing by leaps and bounds, no doubt. Many people, I mean, they think when they hear treatment, they think of what they've seen on TV, where it's a bunch of people in a dimly lit room drinking coffee in a circle and talking about their feelings. It's not necessarily the way it has to be. Tell us about your practice in therapy and the way that changes, kind of almost destroys that perception.
Well, I don't want to destroy it. There are benefits to it.
But it doesn't have to be that way.
No, it doesn't. I got into looking at other ways because sitting and talking like we're doing now, you're using your very conscious mind and your inner critic, and it's very easy to keep saying the same stories over and over and over again and getting stuck because we protect ourselves and we monitor ourselves. And so when I started working with clients, and I've been in the field over 30 years, when I started working with clients, I found that for some clients, it really left them limited. And if you could get them to do things that got them in touch with their body and got them in touch with, I love talking about right and left brain, that this is left brain. If you go into right brain, you go into the imaginal realm. You go into where I think the inner healer lives, because we all have the potential to heal. But a lot of times we don't know how to access it. So if you go into image, those places beyond words, if you do some visioning and then put things on canvas or on paper,
the vision boards that we've seen.
Not just vision boards, but just images. One of the examples from years ago, I worked with somebody who had awful trauma history. I don't think I've ever seen somebody with so much.
Oh my.
And she had had a dream. And so we started with having her paint the dream. And the dream started with, the ships and the bottles. In this case, she had a bird in the bottle, and it was a scrawny bird, and its arm was kind of broken, its wing, and you could see how she felt in creating it, and we could talk about it, so there was that left brain part, but the image spoke itself, and the process spoke itself, and then we talked about and created imagery on the canvas of what the bridge would be like. And that's so powerful because the very ability to create the bridge in some form is an affirmation that a bridge exists, that sometimes we think we can't get out of here, and the very fact, even if all you do is draw a bunch of daisies, at least somewhere there's a sense of there's somewhere to go. So she created a sense of breaking free from the bottle. And the final image she created was this huge bird of prey. It was like a hawk or an eagle, and it was with fiery colors, reds and oranges and yellows, so it had that phoenix feel, that rising from the ashes. And you could see on her face and in her body how she rose up into this new image. And all the talk therapy in the world would not have taken her to that space the way she arrived there. And not only that, then she had the image to take with her.
Right.
And to keep reminding her.
She transformed herself through an
image.
Image. She got that bird out of the bottle. It's so incredibly interesting what you do, tackling people's challenges just from different angles.
Yeah, exactly. There's more than one way to skin a cat, and this is one of the ways where you're able to, depending on each person is different, and the way that they're emotionally connected to something is different.
And
the way to break through.
Even to get connected, because again, if you work with both the imagery and with the body, one of the things that, in fact, addictions are based on being disconnected from your feelings. That's why people go into any kind of addiction. So the very fact that they start connecting with their body and feeling what's there and start to create re-embodies them.
People will be able to take a lot from this conference.
Absolutely. It is incredible. I mean, I'm doing my little shtick.
My shtick.
But beyond,
My healing shtick.
yeah, which is powerful, and I could talk about it for hours. But
Yes.
beyond that, there are really so many, and I was looking through the list of presentations, and there's a whole, mine is focusing, and this one on relationships as well. There are things on issues with love and sex and LGBTQ issues. And then there are the process addictions, the gambling, the eating. There's even one on hoarding and, you know, working with young adults.
very
Because
interesting topic.
the reality is in our life now, all of the addictions show up everywhere. There's nobody that hasn't been touched by them. And this conference really has presentations on the wide gamut so that everybody would get something.
It's fascinating to hear that the community, the healing community, is coming together. It's so rich, and that so much communication will be going on. Thank you for sharing.
Hava, thank you so much.
Absolutely, and I would also say it is open to, there are nurses and dietitians and psychologists. I'm a social worker, NASW is involved, so it's not just addiction specialists. It really
The whole
covers
gamut.
the gamut, and everybody will get something out of it and network with so many professionals in the community.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing. The Lifestyle Intervention Conference is October 16th through the 19th at the Bellagio. It's hosted by the American Addiction Centers in partnership with the National Association of Social Workers Nevada chapter. For details on what to expect and to register, just head to the website or call the number listed.
And a community event